can't do it. I can't do it. I hate this game.
Yeah, from a lot of objective standpoints, Modern Warfare 2 is a pretty bad game, but it's my favorite game. And regardless of what you say, it's better than your favorite game. Sure, everybody loves the Black Ops series for its really nice gun balance. The gameplay's not, ruined by any completely broken features. But MW2 has a little bit something that those games don't, and that's a little bit of extra seasoning, a little bit of flavor.
Hey, that's pretty good.
While Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3 are like a nice grilled chicken with some asparagus and a baked potato, Modern Warfare 2 is like a big, greasy bacon cheeseburger. Yeah, it's not good for you, but it is delicious.
New card. What do you think?
Oh, very nice.
It's very cool, Bateman, but that's nothing. Look at this.
That is really nice.
MW2 is some sort of fever dream to me. It's a game that I've been absolutely gawking over since I was only 8 years old. I was lucky enough to get to play it, unlike most of my friends, because I had an older brother who is 7 years older than me. To this day, no game has ever been able to scratch the itch that this game did for me.
Could we please stop this?
Patrick Itchy!
It somehow managed to be one of the most broken, unbalanced, completely BS games ever made, yet balanced at the same time due to the amount of weapons and kill streaks in it that all managed to be overpowered simultaneously. Usually overpowered means to be better than the competition, and it's usually a lot better. And most guns that are overpowered could be underpowered in a different game. It's all just based on the economy of the guns or the kill streaks. It may just be the incredibly fast time to kill in the game, but it feels like all the guns in Modern Warfare 2 just hit different. And that's what I've heard from a lot of different people that got to play this game. Modern Warfare 2 has so many legendary guns that people still reminisce about to this day, that were so broken, yet fun to use at the same time. The UMP, the ACR, basically every shotgun because they made shotguns be secondaries, which just goes to show how insane the developers were.
Oh! Damn, man, look at that, look! Whew!
You had all of these high-end guns, while also having other competitors like the M4A1, the SCAR, the FAMAS. Honestly, you can argue the RPD is the best gun in the game, even though it isn't really talked about as much. While the ACR and UMP are good in every situation, there are alternatives to them that are better suited for more niche roles, like using dual-wield vectors, for example, which are an exhilarating way to put a comical amount of bullets downstream in mere milliseconds.
Mission accomplished. Well done.
And then you have the kill streaks, and oh boy, what a treat it was to have customizable kill streaks in Call of Duty for the first time. For the low achievement of 7 kills, you could call in a Harrier that is preceded by an airstrike. And in these archaic days of Call of Duty, the developers still gave no second thought to allowing kill streaks to count towards more kill streaks. So if you went on to get a measly 7 kills, which you probably had to camp a little bit because of the amount of shit in this game that can kill you, you would then be on your way to a chopper gunner. Or if you like a challenge and you didn't want to worry about stingers shooting you down as much, an AC-130. Now, the chopper gunner in this game may just be the second greatest kill streak of all time, only topped by the kill streak that it was made to earn you.
Hey, but if you won, how am I going to win? I mean, it's not like you're finishing 18th.
Nothing wrong with silver.
Nothing wrong with silver at all.
With explosive rounds and giant red squares showing you enemies around the map, you'd make comically quick work of every single player without cold-blooded stingers or the damned painkiller death streak. On large open maps like Wasteland, where there wasn't really cover at all, you'd have to put the controller down on the ground and play with your feet to have a chance of not getting yourself the 14 more kills needed to get a nuke. And the nuke is the greatest, most batshit insane reward a game has ever offered, hands down. Now, for people that just started playing Call of Duty in recent years, this kill streak may sound a little bit insane. Now, I know they put it in Modern Warfare 2019, but the ease of getting this streak in Modern Warfare 2 is significantly increased. The nuke would end the game and ensure victory no matter what, no matter how badly you were losing, and it's honestly the original Fortnite Battle Royale in video games. Nothing could beat the feeling of getting the
Oh my god! Oh! Oh my fucking god! Oh! Oh! Take this fucking... Oh! No! Get the camera!
It's a streak that, to me, has given Modern Warfare 2 so much replayability over the years, and is a reason that, to this day, I like to boot up the old PS3 just to go for some. And beyond the chopper gunner and the nuke, who doesn't love care packages or the emergency airdrop? Care packages only require 4 kills and can give you anything from a useful UAV to a game-changing Pavlo, attack chopper, AC-130 chopper gunner. And what I love about Modern Warfare 2 is the developers and seemingly the large amount of drugs they took when making this game, or just the massive dopamine hit that they were trying to meet for themselves.
I'm about to do something terrible.
Is that they decided that the care package wasn't enough. No, for double the kills, we're gonna give you an emergency airdrop, which gives you 4 care packages instead of 1. The funny thing about the emergency airdrop, which anyone that's played Modern Warfare 2 knows, is how stressful it was to get one, and all the things you had to consider when calling it in. You had to throw the marker in the open so the packages didn't land on the roof, because there was nothing worse than your beloved chopper gunner ending up on the roofs of Skid Row. And if you end up dying before you get to your care packages, then you ultimately probably gave a really strong streak to the enemy team, which can turn the tides against yourself. In small maps like Rust, it was almost worthless to even bring one, because the chances that you would die and end up giving the streaks all to the enemy were very high. And honestly, the worst thing of all was probably your moochy teammates who would always swoop in trying to get your hard-earned care packages. You'd have to make a quick decision as to which ones you wanted to grab first so that you didn't risk losing your AC-130 or chopper gunner because you went for the UAV. And this era of Call of Duty was before every single map had to be a cookie cutter reskin of each other with minimal differences, all 3 lanes and small to medium. While a game like Black Ops 2, which I personally love and to a lot of people is the best Call of Duty of all time, it to me kind of started that trend. I have always adored the map design philosophies of Modern Warfare 2 and World at War. They are so unique compared to all other COD games. The maps always have a unique location and aesthetic. There's maps of varying sizes, colors, themes, and environments to ensure every single match feels very different. And when you add the plethora of game modes they had, there's so many new experiences to be had, giving these 2 games so much replayability. Call of Duty maps in this era actually had high ground, power positions, and fun glitch spots like on top of high-rise that were risky but paid off to get to. And when I say glitch spots, I mean not really. They were put there kind of secretly by the developers, hoping that the players would find them, and they were often hard to get to, but worth the risk if you were able to get into those spots. It was honestly like playing a little game with inside a game. I love a map like Estate, where everyone always just fought over the house. And while technically this map wouldn't be good for pro competition because the map is all downhill from the house, and one team spawns at the house and another at the bottom of the hill, but I really don't care about pro gamers or MLG, and I love the game within a game to fight over the house. And this is a great thing about these Modern Warfare 2 and World at War maps. While a lot of them are just absolutely giant, they always have these points, these power positions, these places that the players naturally flow to that manage to make the matches go quick, even though that there's a lot of room to actually go to within the map. Every single map in Modern Warfare 2 is just amazing to me, outside of Underpass, simply due to the visibility. Even Derail is amazing to me because of its change of pace and the fun of either fighting over the main building, kind of like the house on Estate, or you can flank around the giant areas on the sides of the map. To me, amazing maps are what make about half the game, and Modern Warfare 2's debatably best map selection in COD is what makes the game amazing. Although I will say, I do think World at War has the slight edge to Modern Warfare 2 in map quality. MW2 is such a pivotal and innovative game in the COD franchise because it's when customization really began to expand, with a significant increase in guns, the aforementioned kill streaks, pro perks, which allowed you to use a perk enough to upgrade it to a better form, and the addition of more attachments. With a specific standout to me being akimbo. I mean, who doesn't love running around the map with 2 SMGs in your hands, mowing everybody down? It's an absolutely insane attachment that only this Infinity Ward team could have come up with. The game succeeds in many ways of perfecting certain aspects from COD 4 and World at War, such as getting rid of useless perks and rebalancing which classification they're in. So if you look back on Call of Duty 4 or World at War, for example, perk 1 is usually saved for different equipments or launchers or extra ammo. But then when you go into perks 2 and 3, there's always a giant assortment of perks, most of them that really you would never select. Some of them are kind of decent, but there are some, like Shades for example, all it does is protect you sort of from the worst piece of equipment in the game that really nobody runs. And so you get a choice between running Juggernaut or Stopping Power, which either give you more health or more damage versus being protected from signal flares.
Well, that's a no-brainer.
Basically, Modern Warfare 2 was the first Call of Duty where you actually had to make decisions about which perks you wanted to take, because it was always clear-cut which ones were the best. If you go back and play World at War, and then go to play Modern Warfare 2 today, you'll definitely notice a drastic difference between the two games, and Modern Warfare 2 definitely feels a lot more modern because of everything that's in it. I would argue that in a lot of ways, Modern Warfare 2 is the most important game in the entire franchise. But while this game was a huge jump forward for Call of Duty and set the tone for customization, almost everything that was good in this game that we knew and loved would come to be nerfed, some deservedly, and some not so much. Pro perks, for example, would only continue on for 2 more Call of Duties, and then would never return after Modern Warfare 3. And I couldn't possibly disagree more with this choice. They gave players an incentive to use a perk that they liked, or use perks they wouldn't normally use because its pro version had an ability that they did like. The Nuke wouldn't return for a decade, and was talked down by Robert Bowling, old community manager, like it was some sort of bad thing.
No game-ending noob. Yeah.
It's crazy to me listening to the cheers of these people who sound like they hate the nuke when it only took a few years before people were wishing it would come back. And there's so many people that look very, very nostalgically on it to this day. Stopping Power would never return again, a year after its old rival Juggernaut saw its final iteration in COD multiplayer. And the choice to keep Stopping Power in the game but not Juggernaut is just kind of funny to me, because it's honestly really clear what the goal of the developers were, is that they didn't intend for you to do a whole lot of surviving. They intended for you to do a lot of killing and a lot of dying. And even though it is a crutch perk, I think they did the best job in Modern Warfare 2 at balancing it, because they put a lot of other nice perks like Lightweight, Danger Close, Cold-Blooded, and Hardline alongside it to give players other viable options in perk 2. And some people say that these may not be true alternatives, but Lightweight in this game is absolutely insane, especially when you pair it with Marathon. You can fly all over the map, and you can basically run straight through Claymores. I mean, it's basically a hard counter to Claymores. It's so good. And also with Commando or Attack Knife, or even the dual-wield USPs, Lightweight was absolutely deadly at flanking your enemies and getting in their face. And while Hardline is easily the worst perk too, it has a lot of benefit in this game because of how I mentioned how you die so fast, and the benefit of getting your kill streak as fast as possible because how you can use those to chain to more kill streaks. And even without Stopping Power, you still kill people so fast in this game that sometimes you can go without it. Cold-Blooded in this game is just what UAV Jammer was before, or also just Ghost, except it's easily the most broken version of it that we've ever seen because it protects you from basically everything except death itself. And then there's Danger Close, that when it's not being used for the soon-to-be-discussed most nefarious act in Call of Duty history, will give you 40% more killstreak damage in its pro version. It's an excellent choice for players who use lethal killstreaks and are looking to do massive damage to the enemy team. And if you're playing Modern Warfare 2, let's be real, that's probably what you're trying to do. And unfortunately, Call of Duty developers would not be the same lunatics that they were in Modern Warfare 2 because we would not see shotgun secondaries again until Black Ops 4. And at that point, they were so severely cut down. And let's not forget Commando, which is probably a top 3 most hated thing in this game. But honestly, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. You know, it's a perk that when reading the description, it may not seem that good just to have farther sniping distances, but man, this thing had basically the range of a shotgun. You could get right in people's faces, you could warp through walls. This thing basically made you a superhero. Plus, a lot of times I just like to use the pro perk because it made it so you didn't take damage when falling, no matter from what distance. And this would unfortunately be the very last Call of Duty where kill streaks could earn you more kill streaks. I'm sure many people would argue that this was a good balance decision, but I'm all about fun and I'm all about kill streaks, so I actually preferred Call of Duty a lot more when this was still a feature in it. And kill streaks really would never be as good again in COD as they were in Modern Warfare 2, other than in arguably Black Ops 2. All of these features were super fun, and that's my key point, super fun. It's not just about balance, it's about using stuff that gives me that dopamine high that I desire when I'm playing a video game. And there's so many things in Modern Warfare 2 that, while controversial, did that for me and a lot of other people, and it's why so many people to this day look so fondly back on the game. And so I could not disagree more with the choices to remove or water down a lot of these options over the years. While Call of Duty following Modern Warfare 2 began to get even more balanced year by year, I feel like that balance in some sort of way, even though I may sound like a lunatic for saying this, made the game have worse highs than Modern Warfare 2 had. I could never quite get that rush that I desired. It's like, yeah, every once in a while I may get commando knifed. I may get akimbo model 1887 to cross the map. I may get mowed down by dual G18s. I may get killed by a guy only using stopping power. I may get absolutely annihilated by a guy running danger close with a chopper gunner and getting spawn killed over and over and over. But the nice thing about those options is I get to do it to people too. And that amount of chaos and insanity in the game is honestly a reason not to take the game too seriously. And so it's a nice balance between competition and just pure chaotic fun. And I would say that it's become more than evident that chaotic fun is what Call of Duty needs. Because for the better part of the last decade, all Call of Duty has been is meta gameplay. Sweats, who play the game all day long, who watch YouTube tutorials telling them the best loadout, just absolutely owning you. It's like you have to use the exact weapons, otherwise you can't compete. And to me, when there's no options in a multiplayer, it's just not fun. Now at the ripe age of 24 years old, I have absolutely no desire to get on and sweat at a video game. I need a game like Modern Warfare 2 in my life, where it's just pure casual fun. Relaxing, well, some of the time, but regardless if you're getting your ass blasted or if you're doing the ass blasting, you're probably having somewhat fun no matter what. And whatever this shit is, this is not fun. But even in a game with so many broken things, out of the ashes of the Cheeto dust and Mountain Dew of the most chaotic FPS game to ever grace this world is the most asinine, game-breaking, rage-inducing combination of attachment and perks ever concocted. One-man army, danger close, noob tubes.
He has risen, baby girl. And I don't want the world to see me.
Now, I know I have essentially been advocating for everything this game has done so far. I love it, I'm extremely biased towards it, and I can find a good reason for why most things in this game, even while they're broken, add a lot of flavor to it. One-man army noob tubes adds absolutely no flavor. There is no argument for it, there is no justification. It put a massive stain on this game, and it honestly significantly alters the all-time rankings that fans have of Call of Duty. I've seen a lot of people putting Black Ops 2 just ahead of Modern Warfare 2. And honestly, I have to bet that if one-man army noob tubes never exist in this game, the games would be at least tied, if not MW2 being a bit higher than Black Ops 2. Because the stain of one-man army noob tubes isn't just some little mustard stain on your white t-shirt. No, this is like a stain if a person standing 1 foot in front of you just suddenly blew up and splattered all over your white t-shirt. So many matches in Modern Warfare 2 would just devolve into tube fests, where if there weren't guys piping them off spawn the moment the pre-match timer expired, and I'm sure many of you remember having to run for your life like you're trying to escape artillery fire at the moment a round of SND started.
Search and destroy. Destroy the objective. Reloading! Oh my god.
Then some salty guy would just whip one out if they're losing, and then suddenly the entire lobby was plagued, everyone having to use them to win.
When I'll do anything, I'll do whatever it takes to...
I mean, it was absolutely asinine, and there is nothing worse than being knocked off your streak to try to get a nuke by some just horrible player using one-man army noob tubes. And honestly, maybe the biggest blunder of all is the fact that the blast shield in this game is terrible. There's been blast shield perks in Call of Duty before Modern Warfare 2, but in this game, they decided it would be a great idea to make it a piece of equipment that covers the sides of your screen so you can't see the minimap, and it barely works. It literally is just not used when people whip out the tubes because everyone knows it's completely useless. Honestly, I'm convinced it was some sort of practical joke by Infinity Ward. Now, if the multiplayer in this game is ever remastered, I've argued that everything should remain the same except for the one-man army nuke tubes. And then if it's known, the patch that was meant to be released for the tubes before a massive lawsuit broke out between Activision and the developers be put into the game. I really feel like the aura of this game, it's the only game that could have produced such a terrible game mechanic that just made it seem like Michael Bay was behind the entire creative process of this video game and can outshine so many of the other things in this game that if just one of them alone was put into a game as such like Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 1, they would really just be hated by a lot of the community and be viewed as completely overpowered. And then outside of one-man army tubes, I have a few other complaints with Modern Warfare 2. Obviously, they don't really hold much of a candle to the tubes, but I feel like they take a little bit away from the essence of the game. And number one being the combination of cold-blooded and stingers. And obviously I'm gonna sound like a whiny little baby tryhard with this argument, but I need you to hear me out. This game is about batshit, mindless fun, where everybody is trying to acquire these streaks by any means necessary due to how they impact the game. Everybody likes getting streaks, but nobody likes getting killed by them. And that's where you have 1 in 13 players who, the moment you get your chopper gunner, pull out their dedicated Stinger cold-blooded class to shoot you out of the sky. Now I get on the surface why this makes sense, because there needs to be counterplay to the streaks. The problem lies within how easy it is to shoot down the streaks. Within 30 seconds of spawning with this class, honestly even less, you kind of have to be really bad for it to take you 30 seconds. Any player regardless of skill could shoot down some of the most powerful streaks in the game blindfolded. To me, this takes away the crazy chaoticness of the game because streaks are so ingrained to Modern Warfare 2's identity, it is simply not the same when the match has evolved into bare bones because the 2013 Seahawks equivalent no-fly zone is going on. I mean, your chopper is about as good as a civilian passenger jet accidentally passing into Russian airspace. I miss the good old days of COD 4 when you just had an RPG, you could pull out an LMG with some stopping power, and just a few teammates would try to shoot down the enemy streaks to get them out of the sky. Because in this game, it is way too easy, and Modern Warfare 2 without streaks is really not a very good video game, I'll be honest. And I also really dislike Painkiller. The amount of health it gives bad players is just ridiculous. I mean, it cuts the damage that you take, so it doesn't really give you health, but it cuts the damage that you take into 1/3 for 10 seconds. It only takes 3 straight deaths to trigger, and only 2 if you're using hardline, and there's nothing more infuriating than putting 7 shots into an enemy just for them to kill you because they had some ridiculous death streak. Death streaks overall were just not a good idea at all, and we would only see them return once more in Modern Warfare 3. Thankfully. I mean, I'm sure there's not many people at all to this day begging for death streaks to return. One of the worst ideas in Call of Duty history. And in typical Infinity Ward fashion, the spawns in this game are just a crime against humanity. I mean, they are absolutely atrocious. It's like there's no logic behind them at all. I've talked about Painkiller. I've talked about one-man army nuke tubes knocking you off your streak. But spawns are near the top of that list too. But it can also work for your favor. These horrendous spawns and the lack of spawn protection can just let you mow an entire team down over and over and over again with the chopper gunner or other streaks. So I guess it's a little bit of a dichotomy. But despite all the ups and downs, all of the chaos, all the amazing things Modern Warfare 2 does, followed up by the equally just as devastating, horribly annoying things it does, it is what COD, to me, should be. It succeeds at being a fast, chaotic, casual arcade shooter. This game's public lobby spit in the face of tryhards and people who follow metas, because no matter how good you are, in any match one single player can begin to link streaks together or simply get an AC-130 out of a care package. Overall, Modern Warfare 2's highs beat any experience that any other Call of Duty has ever offered. Getting an emergency airdrop, using lightweight and marathon to sprint across maps like a madman knifing people, mapping enemies with model akimbo 1887s, dominating the skies with AC-130s or chopper gunners, and best of all, getting the nuke. These amazing, memorable moments are worth putting up with getting blown up every 5 seconds by Nuke tubes, or getting absolutely hammered into oblivion by an enemy team with streaks up the entire game. Now, I get that I'm a psycho, and obviously a bit of a dopamine junkie. And that's why, despite how much better the balance is in games like Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, they will never scratch the same itch that this game could for me. And that's why Modern Warfare 2 to me will always be the greatest multiplayer game ever made. And even you people that don't really enjoy it as much as some of the other CODs, come on, you know it's such a guilty pleasure. You know you love all these different moments that you get in Modern Warfare 2 that you can't get in any other Call of Duty. But tell me what you think. Did you think that Modern Warfare 2's highs were worth the absolute lows? Did you feel like the infuriating deaths were worth the amazing kill streaks that you could go on at any time and just dominate and destroy the whole lobby with 70, 80 kill games? And did you enjoy the old map design philosophies of Modern Warfare 2 and World at War? I would really love to hear your opinion on why you either loved Modern Warfare 2 or hated it, or about why you love and hate the game. I plan on doing a video on World at War next, so I'd appreciate if you'd subscribe and stick around, because I have a lot of great Call of Duty content and other game content coming out soon.